What's going on, St. Louis? You're listening to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show on KTZ 1600. Hallelujah, AM. How's it going out there? Pretty good. It's a beautiful day. It's been nice. It's been nice all week. I hope you all enjoying it. I haven't had a chance to go fishing in a while, but I'm gonna get out there eventually. I'm joined by my right-hand man,
Hey, Mark. Hey.
Brother Anthony Shaheed.
Man, every time I get a chance to see my...
Here's the man always said, yeah, you the boss with the hot sauce, just don't get it on me.
That's what my mama said. She said, you the boss with the hot sauce, don't shake a drop of it on me.
All right now.
So shake it to the east and shake it to the west, but shake it to the one you love the best. Assalamu alaikum, brothers. So let's get down to business. Thankful this morning to be here with Mayor Bosley, and who is secretary. Well, wait a minute, Mayor, I get it mixed up all the time.
Secretary, Sister Felicia, phenomenal.
Well, I just call her the lady.
Phenomenal.
I just call her the woman that makes it
Phenomenal.
happen.
Well, I didn't say no phenomenal.
She's the woman that, well, she can be phenomenal. She's phenomenal.
Yes.
But she's the one that makes it happen for us, right?
She just skinning and grinning
That's
up
right.
here, man. Look at her. Look at her. I mean, she just look at them
Good
dimples.
morning, good morning, good morning, St. Louis and surrounding areas. Go ahead and tag 10 friends and bring them in.
Tag
And
10.
Tag 10 friends and invite them in. Listen, head on over to our Facebook page, like, tag, share, and follow. Like, tag, share, and follow. You can find us on YouTube under the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show. Make sure you subscribe. Guys, we're trying to get our viewers up. We want you to invite others, so we can get this message out. It's important. I'm going to toss it on back to Mayor.
We need these numbers up, friends.
Well, give me
We
who
want
is
you to
Tim.
help us.
If you say who Tim is, I bet
I
you're
got
going
to
to
get
get on
it
up.
in. I got to get it in. Who is Timothy? Huh? Who is Timothy? He's the man back there on the boards, on the ones and twos, on that big old mixer. He got a great big mixer.
Okay.
I mean, he makes sure everything's happening. And, of course, we got backup. Mr. Seth Close.
When you said
Seth
that,
Close.
he go skinning and grinning.
Yeah, oh, well,
he doing-
it's nice to recognize people.
Well, what
Yeah.
about we gonna recognize everybody? What about Robert? Who?
In
I mean,
the
who is Robert?
building.
Well, that's it. Go ahead.
A young man. And how old is Robert, secretary?
Oh, now listen, we don't tell our age.
Oh, whoa. No, that's
Is he a new addition or what's going on?
Damn, I like
Robert
that.
is
New
here.
addition.
That's
Oh,
right. That's
We're taking
right.
it to another level.
Taking
We
it to
always
another
thankful.
level.
How old are you, young man, though? This for the 28 years
28.
ago. Oh, man, I remember that.
Keeping up with the youth.
Oh, man, that's it.
He can swing that mic at work. It's hot.
Okay.
Now, let me explain something to you. Robert is here because he's going to take us to another level. He will work with us to create an app and just give us time. This is something that's in the making. We're spilling some of the tea, so share it with other people. We're going to have an app that you can just push the button and click on our app, and you'll find us and listen to us.
Oh, that's powerful.
Simple.
We've got some things I want to talk about, but one of the things that had come across my radar screen, and it was something that I really hadn't thought about because I just assumed that it was happening. One of the young ladies up at the Zodiac the other night, one of the bartenders, when she came out, she had a flat tire. And so I told her, I said, well, it's okay. We got enough people up here to fix it and stuff. I said, go out, find the spare. We jacked the car up, and just so happened we had somebody there to put some air in it. But my initial reaction was just jack the car up, put your spare on. They don't really have spares these days. They have got donuts.
Yeah.
Hey, but check this out. She didn't even have a donut.
Damn. I mean-
She had no spare. But look, it's not her fault because my understanding, I just found this out, is that these cars, is it after 2015, no, probably maybe a little earlier, maybe 2018, they don't come with spares.
Oh, are you serious?
Come on.
You saying
Tell
after
the story.
2018?
I don't know when they stopped.
This is the first time I ever heard that.
I'm sure it is, but it won't be the last. It will not be the last. What in God's
It
name
would make a person
is going on with the automotive industry where they don't even
give a spare.
provide you with a spare tire? I mean, they don't even provide you with a donut.
That's bad.
Huh?
That's bad.
And so, friends, I'm just telling you, and I know a lot of you hadn't even thought about it because you
You're
hadn't
right.
had cause to. Because when you buy that damn car, you're under the impression at least you got a spare.
Yes.
Or you got a donut.
Yes.
But you don't.
No.
You have nothing. So those of you that have these new cars, brand new cars and stuff, check it out. check it out. Check to see whether you got a spare tire. Or, not the spare tire, the donut. Check to see if you even got a donut. Most people take that for granted.
You're right, because if you hadn't just said that, I'm willing to bet you we're going to have some of our viewers calling us, telling us that you were 100% right, because those are things that most people wouldn't even go to check.
You take it for
Why would
granted.
you? And it's just saying, like, now that you're saying that and just switch just a pinch, it's like that with all of them now. Even the airlines, I remember when we used to go there, you have sandwiches and you have some food to eat. Now, they don't give you nothing but some peanuts and a soda.
Yeah,
and sometimes they don't even want to do that.
Yeah, but see, this is an issue involving safety.
I understand that.
And particularly women. That's what I'm concerned about. What if that bartender hadn't been up at the Zodiac? What if she had been someplace else, out on the street?
On the highway.
Yes.
And it was about 11, 12 o'clock at night. And she, I asked her, I said, do you have a spare? You know what she said? I never thought about it, which is the normal response. All right.
Point,
so we need to really, it's a simple issue. And it's, somebody you probably say, well, why is Bosley talking about that? I'm talking about it because it's important. Our loved ones, wives, daughters, more specifically, especially are out here in the street, rolling around in these brand new cars, and they don't have a spare. So I'm gonna do a little bit more research on it to find out exactly what's going on there. But I think if it comes to pass that the automotive industry is not providing people with spare tires in their cars, I think that is grounds for some type of congressional inquiry, one, or it's grounds for a congressional remedy. I think if they are not providing automobiles with spare tires, I think that the Congress of the United States needs to pass a bill requiring and making it mandatory that all automobiles that are being sold come equipped with a spare tire or at least a donut. What are your thoughts about that?
I agree. Go ahead. You take it, Brother Shaheen.
If we don't do it, next thing you know, they won't even have the airbags.
That's right.
I mean, because you're talking about safety. One thing about these people,
You said they won't have the airbag.
I'm just telling you how
because you won't know you don't have an airbag till you need it.
I'm just going to be honest. They'll probably keep bringing the airbags because it's making someone money. So it's that spare tire is not really,
Well, I don't know.
Well, it makes money because they got to buy it from somewhere.
Yeah, that's true.
They have to acquire it from somewhere. But that is, that is pathetic.
Well, the other thing to do, they make it like it's the norm. What they're doing in so many words, it's like what they're doing with everything else. Like people used to go to gas stations and you had full service. Now they don't even know that's not normal.
Right.
People used to go into a store and get a basket
Right.
and get a bag. Now it's like you're supposed to walk out the store without it. In the next 10 years, all our young people would think you just don't supposed to have a spare.
They'll be used to it and won't even ask a question.
That's my point.
The question will never come up.
That's my point.
It will never come up. But people, here's another thing I think they're going to do. When folks are probably already complaining about it, they just have not made enough noise. But here's what I think the automotive industry's response will be. Well, yeah, you can have a spare. You had to pay for it.
Well, tell me that day one, at least I know I didn't have one.
Right. Okay, now that's another point. You have a duty. The automotive industry, the Congress needs to come up with a remedy that where automotive industry has to disclose to you that you don't have a spare. Because most people don't know.
Right.
At the time you're buying that car, they need to disclose to you that you don't have a spare. And that way you can make a decision as to what you want to do about it.
Yes, sir.
But I'm going to tell you right now, most people, they so excited. Because you're excited about your damn new car.
Yeah.
You so happy you want to get in, go take your friends for a ride and everything. You are the spare tire is the last thing you thought about.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what they said, a third of the new cars do not come with a spare tire.
A
But
third.
they have something called the temporary fixable a flat tire where you can drive around
Well, let's talk.
temporarily,
Well, we gotta go
just
to-
a
We
little
gotta go
bit.
to a break, but let's
So
get on
we
there when we
headed to
come
a
back.
break.
You're listening to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show on KTZ 1600. Hallelujah!
Keep it on
AM.
lock.
Keep it on lock.
Quit
Quick,
playing.
play.
And-
Oh!
We come with that like this.
That was perfect. Okay, so we
One
need a
third. That's
chair.
two. That's 1/3 too many.
Is that the one guy coming in with us?
Yep, we need Tim, Canada.
That's 1/3 too many.
So yeah, but what those the ones that don't have it, it said it comes with a some kind of kit.
Come on, Tim.
It's a
This,
kit,
this lady have a kid.
Yeah, right here. Yes, sir. Thank you, Tim.
a
Come on
temporary
in.
fix a
We're
flat
live
tire.
here already.
A temporary
Brothers and
fix
sisters,
it.
We'll be back
It's a
in
sealing kit
less than 1
where you
minute.
can seal wherever the leak is.
Yeah. Well, see, I'll tell you about that. I had an experience with that too. Yeah. How
Slide
you
on
doing,
in,
my
Slide
brother?
on in as close as you can,
Yeah.
brother Tim.
Get in there.
'Cause I want- Okay, sounds good.
Oh, it said, but the sealing kit won't help you if the side of the car tire is gashed.
That's right. It's not going to help you probably even if it's not. But we're going to talk about it just a little bit and then we get into Tim. But this is a serious issue. 1/3, does it tell you a list? This, you
I could try to pull that out.
Okay, this is the 22-minute segment. We'll be back on in 15 seconds. And we'll continue talking about these tires that the white folks don't furnish no more. Unfurnished white folks tires.
Tim, Canada.
Yeah, we got everything right.
Just want to make sure I pronounced it right.
car dealerships. What's going on, St. Louis? You're listening to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show on KTZ 1600. Hallelujah, AM. We were just, in this previous segment, we were just talking a little bit about the fact that Felicia just found out that they're saying that over 1/3 of the new cars being sold today don't have a spare. And so, Felicia, what are they saying the cars come equipped with?
A sealing kit, some kind of kit that you would seal your puncture with. But if the puncture's on the side of the tire, then it wouldn't be effective. It wouldn't work for something like that.
And so now, let me tell you about that. I've had that, and I bought sealers, car sealers, no flat. I've bought that on occasion in the filling station. That stuff will seriously erode or do damage to your chrome or your wheels.
Damn.
Yeah, you can get it, and yeah, it might work. Yeah, and it is a temporary fix, but the damage is called short-term pleasure, long-term pain, because that stuff will tear up your wheels. Yes, it will. And so now you bought a $2.50 can or $3.50 can of fix it up, and you done messed up a $200 or $300 wheel. That's what you're going to get with that. So I think we have to go back to the drawing board and force these dealers to provide people with
I agree.
spares. I mean, that is not a stretch of the imagination, and I don't think it's too much to ask. I think that anybody that's buying a new car has a reasonable expectation to expect that they have or that he or she has a spare tire. And if you don't have a spare tire, if they don't have a spare tire, then I think the automotive industry has a duty to disclose that fact.
I agree.
Yeah, and here's just a list. I'm not going to come
Come
give
on,
all of
come on
them,
with it.
But AAA said Acura NSX, Audi R8.
This lady had a
Audi
BMW.
TT, BMW Series 2, 3, 4, and 6. BMW, what is it, i8, BMW X3, BMW X4, Cadillac ATS, Cadillac CTS, Chevrolet Bolt, Chevrolet Camry, Chevrolet Corvette, Chevrolet SS, Dodge Viper.
You have any of these cars, people? These are
Hyundai
cars that don't
Accent.
have spares, right?
They do not have a spare.
They do not have a spare.
It's a long list of them. You can find them. The Mercedes-Benz B-Class, Mercedes-Benz C, a Benz CLA class.
Cadillacs and Mercedes, the ones that you would expect to have a spare.
The Kia Forte, Kia Soul.
Let me talk about the Kias. I'm going to get on that in a minute.
We're going to get on them Kias. But in the meantime, guys, it's a whole list of them. The Tesla Model X, the Tesla Model S. So some things that you can do to keep yourself from being in the middle of the night with a flat is just don't assume that you have a spare tire. Verify. And once you find out, you want to check your pressure monthly, including the spare if you have one. Find out if your tire inflator kit has an expiration date and read the owner's manual to learn its
I
limitation.
don't get no damn tire inflator kit. I know where that's going to lead you. It's going to lead you into more trouble, and it's going to lead you to an expense that's going to shock your conscience. Because next thing they're going to tell you, you're going to notice that the rims are peeling. The chrome on the wheels is peeling.
Yes.
All right, so I'm not going to get into that any further because we could talk about that a little bit long. We have a guest here, and let us, Felicia, you want to introduce our guest?
Absolutely, absolutely. Guys, you know that this is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and so we just celebrated Sister Strut. And today, as I told you all a couple of weeks ago, we were going to have a special guest in who is a man who is a 10-year breast cancer survivor. We have Tim Canada with us this morning. Welcome, Tim.
Welcome. Welcome to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show.
Thank you for coming to the studio
Yes.
this morning. That means a whole lot to us.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So if you all don't know, if you were not there, Tim throughout the first pitch, was a few weeks ago.
A few weeks ago, Cardinals versus the Washington
Speaking to that
Nationals.
mic. I want you to speak right into that mic.
Yeah.
Cardinals versus the Washington Nationals, September 5th.
Okay.
All right.
I think it was a strike. I think it was a strike over the plate.
Did the Cardinals win?
No, they did not.
Oh, God.
They
Good.
came up short.
But they're in pretty good shape now, though, still,
are.
right? They
They
won the league. They won their division.
Going to the playoffs.
Yes.
Yes. So this morning we just wanted to bring some awareness because a lot of people feel like, oh, I know that a woman may experience breast cancer, but they're clueless when it comes down to men and breast cancer. But you sit here today testifying and spreading awareness to breast cancer can happen to men and that you are able to survive.
Absolutely.
Yes. So tell us about your experience.
Okay, so just to give you a little backstory, the first time I ever heard about breast cancer in men was actually an interview that I saw the actor Richard Roundtree do in '93. He was the first one to come out and speak about male breast cancer. So fast forward to 2012, when I had my bout and diagnosis, it was a shock to the system, and it's one of those things that it just doesn't affect that individual, but family members and anybody that's around that person. So,
Well, tell us about how it came about that you discovered that you had a problem with your chest.
so I was actually taking a shower, and I discovered a lump on my chest. And I thought it might have been a bug bite or a hair bump or something of that nature. And I sort of dismissed it for a while. And
Stayed with you, huh?
Yeah, it stayed with me. I just realized that it wasn't going anywhere. And that's when I decided I'm going to go and see my doctor. And they did an exam, ordered a biopsy, and it came back as cancer.
Was it hurting?
No, there was no pain at all.
No pain at all.
No pain at all.
That's what I want the people to pay attention to. That's why when you start seeing anything changing on your body, you got to pay attention to it.
Right.
You know.
And the doctor asked those kinds of questions. Was there any pain? Was I a smoker? Which I've never been a smoker. So it's just one of those things that if you catch it early enough, there's corrective treatment for it.
So what stage was it in when you caught it?
Mine was stage 2.
Okay, that make a big difference.
Yep.
'Cause once you get to stage 4 in any of that stuff, it's a problem.
Is it?
Yeah,
Oh, it's a problem.
big time.
That's
Yeah.
good. So what he's saying in so many words, and you can keep on talking about, is early detection.
Early detection is key.
That's the main thing. You got
Absolutely.
to, you know. So how important is it for brothers and people, period, but brothers to go and start, since we know now, because to be honest, I never heard a lot about this until a few years ago, but I've never met nobody that have absolutely went through it. Help us here.
Well, basically, you have to listen to your body. You see or feel anything out of the ordinary, don't dismiss it. Go get it checked out and let the doctors do their thing and find out what's what. And that's the other thing. A lot of people are afraid of finding out
Oh, yeah.
that they may have cancer,
If they ignore it or go away.
yeah, they don't want to share it with
Right,
anybody.
right.
And so it's one of those things where you just have to be brave and handle it.
Yeah.
Brother Tim, what kind of treatment did you receive, and how long was your treatment?
So my treatment consisted of a mastectomy. So basically, the process is quite similar to what a woman would go through.
Yeah.
Difference is men don't have the amount of breast tissue that women have, but we do have breast tissue. And so they did a mastectomy, meaning that they removed all the breast tissue, the right nipple. And after that, I went through a series of chemo treatments, 4 to be exact, and then I had to be on what they call the cancer pill for 5 years.
5 years?
5 years, taking the same medicine every day. And,
Now-
and that was a tall order.
So, what was that treatment like financially? Did you have assistance or?
Luckily for me, my insurance covered it.
Okay.
I know there's programs out there. There was a woman that was in the cancer care facility with me going through treatment as well, and I believe there was some type of MRI or something of that nature that she had to have done, and her insurance wasn't going to cover it. And I think, if I remember correctly, the facility, they reached out to United Way. And they actually covered it.
Okay. Now, did breast cancer run in your family? Because I know that it says that if a mother has breast cancer, it increases the risk of the son who could possibly develop breast cancer as well.
Right.
So do you all have a family history?
So
Not to put all your family history out there.
no,
I'm just trying-
not directly. And what I mean by that is, I've had a couple of other siblings that got diagnosed with different forms of cancer, but I suspect it was related to the fields that they worked in. So, for example, myself, I was in the Air Force, so, lo and behold, it could have been something that I got exposed to. I had a brother that was in the Army as well, so,
Okay.
Did he get it?
yeah, he actually had breast cancer too. And
Now, that's unusual.
yeah, so knowing what I went through, he followed my lead and did everything he was supposed to do.
But you had stage
so-
2 and you went through
Stage
all of
2.
that.
Yes,
So that lets you know that you really have to be on it.
absolutely.
Yes, yes. And so you didn't have an inverted nipple, you didn't have any pus coming from the nipple, there was no
No.
redness, those hallmark signs that one might think. There was nothing but a painless lump that didn't
Painless
move.
lump, that was it.
That's something to think about. You said something else that was key, not that all of it is heavy, but why is it so important to have that family support? Because it's not just you going through it.
Right.
Can you elaborate? I know because my brother deals with it so much, but tell me why that family support is so important, please.
Because it's a real emotional thing.
Yes.
And I can tell you from my own experience, there were times where I felt like I was all alone in this, even though I knew I wasn't. But
Well, it could be
You-
depressing.
it absolutely.
5 years taking them damn
Yeah.
pills.
So
Yeah. So that family structure, or just a support system, period, is
Yes, sir.
important. And I'm
So
thankful
important.
that you would come out to talk to us publicly this morning about this here, because if somebody's sitting back here not paying attention, or now maybe paying attention, and might just start feeling something and say, hey, since he said that it's not just women now that have
Right.
breast cancer.
Right.
Most people, when they start talking about women check out their breasts or do something once a year or so many months checking each other, now men got to understand that too.
absolutely.
You
And I
know?
also want to highlight, even though with this being Breast Cancer Awareness Month, this is a everyday awareness thing,
Yeah.
year round.
So it's everyday awareness.
Yep.
How has this diagnosis changed your life?
It made me be a little more selfish, and selfish in a good way. By that I mean doing things that I like to do for me.
enjoying your life.
I do stuff for family and friends all the time, but it made me be a little bit selfish in that regard to do some things I want to do and live my best life.
So now you've been 10 years cancer-free.
10 years.
Was on a cancer pill for 5 years.
Yes.
How
That's a
often,
long haul.
That's a long haul. And 4
Every day.
bouts of chemo.
Yep.
How often do you have to go back for follow-up? It's
It was every year. Now it's every other year. And it's just for a basic exam, and the doctor asks me if I'm feeling any pain or any of the lumps or anything like that appeared, and I always give them my honest answer. And as long as I'm good, he sends me on my way, and see you in a couple of years.
Well, I think the good thing, too, because I'm looking here that you was in the Air Force, right? How long?
6 years.
So you had damn good insurance.
Oh yeah.
See, that make a big difference. So that's why this early, once a year, somebody should be taking some type of test on your whole body.
Yeah.
You should be going for a checkup from head to your damn toe.
Absolutely.
Because if something is wrong, you need to know about it before time, because if you don't have the kind of insurance like you had, now you got to start trying to figure stuff out, and you don't need to
Right.
figure it out when you got stage 3 and stage 4. Because
Absolutely.
you damn near can't figure it out. So that's a good thing about that. And you been in the service, having some of the best insurance, that's good, bro.
Yep.
You know?
So are you required to go to the Veterans Hospital? Could you go to the hospital of your choice? Or the doctor's of your choice?
Well, with this, I actually went to the hospital of my choice, but I do go to the VA
Okay.
when I need to.
Okay.
That's one of them cards, get out of jail free cards, they
There
used
you
to
go.
say, And that's good, bro. I'm glad you're out here talking about this, because it's something that I bet you a lot of men, damn near like, which is different subject, them damn donut tires. A whole lot of people don't know about them donut tires. A whole lot of
Right.
people don't know about men needing to make sure that they check for
Right.
breast cancer.
Yeah.
Because that might have been some of the things when you go to the store that wasn't on their list.
Right.
They might have been looking at other things, but when we say head to toe, we mean head to toe.
Head to toe. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So I was going to just read some of the facts here. It says the risk factors, getting older, and we definitely want to get older. The risk for breast cancer increases with age. Most breast cancers are found age 50 or older, but it doesn't mean that you, because you're young, you won't develop it because you can. All right, genetic mutation changes within the cell itself. The gene BRCA1 and BRCA2 increases the cancer risk. Did they check you for that particular gene?
Yes, they did.
Okay. In family history of breast cancer, a man's risk for breast cancer is higher if a close family member has had breast cancer. If you've been exposed to radiation for whatever reason, that could put you at risk of breast cancer. Hormone therapy treatment, and sometimes I know men go through different hormone treatments when they get a little bit older, and so that could put you there at risk of developing it. Also, liver disease, cirrhosis, scarring of the liver can lower the levels and raise estrogen levels in men, increasing the risk of breast cancer. Obesity, just being overweight. Older men who are overweight or have obesity have a higher risk of getting breast cancer than men with a normal weight. And some of the things that you want to do is not smoke. Smoking has been associated with breast cancer. Also, I would tell you, and Brother Sahi, you could just chime in on this, just eating healthy as you can. A lot of times we eat a lot of foods that are high in carbohydrates, complex carbohydrates, and that breakdown can lead to you developing cancers because it's not healthy. You want to eat those foods that are healthy for you, your vegetables and your greens, green leafy vegetables and fruits and everything like that. Be mindful of what you even put on your body. Sometimes we're using lotions and creams and shampoos and all this fancy stuff with this laced with chemicals, and those chemicals can lead us to cancer. So you just want to be careful. Now, just a little bit, what I've learned too is we love to eat barbecue, and we love to eat the bologna in the packages, and what is it, nitrate that they use, that can cause cancer. So we just have to be careful with, I'm not saying don't eat it, but you want to eat it in moderation if you are going to eat. Even barbecue, that byproduct from the barbecue itself. So those are just some things you can do. Make sure you get your water intake. Make sure you get enough sleep. Make sure you're getting your labs drawn. Yeah.
Tell me what we haven't got out here that men need
Yeah.
to know. I mean, because we're going on with it, but we want to hear what you're saying. What are we missing? What do we need to make sure? Because thousands and hundreds of thousands of people would be listening to you.
Yeah.
Tell me what they need to know.
Well, the biggest factor is really just paying attention to your body.
Okay, I like that.
I mean, because if you notice anything out of the ordinary, and I've talked to several men about it when I originally was diagnosed, and I would have guys that I knew come up to me and say, "Hey, I got this lump on my neck or on my shoulder. Go to the doctor. Go get it checked."
All right.
So
bottom line.
That's the bottom
Yeah,
line.
you can't
Listen to your body.
listen
right.
to your body.
So did you make Sister Strut?
I did.
Okay.
I did the car parade this year.
The car parade.
Yes.
All right. How was that experience?
It was good.
So now,
I
how does the
enjoyed it.
car parade work? What is that? The car.
So instead of the traditional walk
Right.
that most of the survivors do,
Right.
they actually featured a portion that just featured cars.
Really?
Yeah, so everybody had their vehicles decorated and whatever
Oh, yeah.
breast cancer survivor paraphernalia they had, and
Was it well attended?
it was a good turnout.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Well, I can tell you one thing, walking tall as you are, hell, you can take half the steps.
I cover a lot of ground.
I know that. Well, how tall are you, bro?
I'm 6'7".
Dang.
All right. So
Well,
before
around here
we
ain't no midget.
before we close out, we'd be remiss not to give a shout out to the Pink Table organization. Miss
Right.
Stephanie, want to tell us?
Stephanie Lee.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
That's where I got a
just-
chance to meet you at.
Right, just recently attended her inaugural event, and she had a great turnout, and it was a lot of fun.
How do we get with you? How do are you available? Do you want to put your information out so if somebody?
Well, right now I'm only on Twitter, and I do have a YouTube page.
Well, come on, give it.
Go. give
if
it up. Yeah.
you
Don't be
just
stingy now.
if you just type in breast cancer and my name Tim Canada, it will pop right up,
Okay, Canada is like the
just like the country. Yes,
Okay, so
yes, sir.
tell me again.
So YouTube, Tim Canada, breast cancer awareness, and it will spring right up on YouTube.
I think brothers and sisters out here, sometimes the wife have to do it because sometimes the brother might not want to do it. Go on and push your husband the same way he pushed you. Now you push him and tell him this is very important. You know, so brother, we
And push
just,
your fathers too, because fathers want to give that pushback. But ladies, go on and nudge them and let them
So
know,
why you look at me when
Daddy,
you say
I'm
that?
taking over.
okay,
You're
but I'm
going to
telling you, why
get
you
checked
bumping?
out.
What you doing bumping into me then? I'm gonna
Yes.
go. I mean, he done caught my attention because I've heard about it before, but I've never seen a survivor in my own eyes.
10
So,
years survivor.
That's fantastic, man.
Yes.
But I'm glad that you did the early detection. You know what I'm saying? You knew you had it. You knew you had a lump,
Some of them.
but then you kind of ignored it for a while. But then you realize, hey,
It wasn't
I need to
going
go
away.
check it out.
Right.
All right.
Yes.
Well, listen, thank you very much, man. We
Thanks for
appreciate
having
you.
me. Thank you.
All right. That's right. You're listening to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show, St.
I'm
Louis.
gonna set the tone for
Go
you.
ahead.
Like you going
Well, go ahead, man.
Tell me
Do
they
what you want to
listening
do.
Well, I want
You go on and do it then.
Hallelujah.
Hit it.
No, no,
Hit it.
I wanna get
Go on
the
and
best
hit
part of
it.
that.
Bring
Hit it.
Bring it. Bring it.
You bring it.
You're listening to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show on KTZ 1600 AM. Hallelujah.
Well, keep it
Keep
on
on
lock.
lock. Quick.
Quit
Playing.
playing.
Ho.
You're a survivor.
10-year survivor.
Yes.
Pills for 5 years.
5 years, every day.
That's big.
Something.
Every day.
Well, a lot of men don't know about breast cancer. We always hear about women talk about breast cancer, but to hear him talk about it and not, to make sure he don't mind coming out to help put it out in the community means a whole lot.
That's
And he
right.
said he had a mastectomy. I was
that was-
impressed with that.
Yes.
Yeah.
But see, the thing that got my attention was he said he was stage 2.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
For all, to have to go through all of that,
Yes.
and you were just at stage 2.
Yes.
Think about stage 3 and stage 4. What's going on with them?
Yeah.
Then
Huh?
his brother too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Both of them.
Well, one of the things that we talked about is diet. We talked about eating healthy. We talked about having those great foods. And next to us is the chef,
So what you
the hottest chef.
So what you mean? Because I'm missing
Come,
something.
Brother Shahidi, I'm gonna let you bring it on in.
I'm gonna bring it on in. Well, I can bring it now.
Yeah, well, come on with it.
We honored
Who's
this
in the
morning-
studio this morning?
Well, we honored this morning to have Chef Pat. He's got Miss Chef Pat on here. I guess I got to read what it say.
Miss
I can't
Chef
call her Miss Chef Pat. Chef Pat is one of the culinary teachers that this world I've ever seen. She specialized in food. A lot of people
Yes.
specialize in a lot of things, but very few people specialize and love what she do. She
I just
loves
had a
it.
flashback from when she bought us all that food.
Oh, yeah, last time.
No,
Oh,
but I'm just telling you, we got to eat
She
in
spoiled
moderation.
us, you
and-
I'm hungry.
Yeah.
She spoiled
But
us.
you can't eat like that early in the morning, man.
Well, I can.
Okay,
Right.
Well, let me just
That's
set
you
the tone
want-
for
you
Hey,
the-
want-
look,
you want
I
it.
can and I will.
Can I set the tone what's happening at Job Corps, because I think that's what I want you
Yeah.
to come on and talk about.
Right.
And I've been blessed to be able to go up to Job Corps on several occasions. She's come on several occasions, and she has the new director or point person, Brother Roosevelt Robinson, here with her this morning. And we want to give them opportunity to come here to talk about Job Corps.
Yeah.
Everything from students being able to come up there and stay on the site, if that's still going on. The mere fact that they can learn a trade, because a trade is important, carpentry and painting and electricity, all those things, that they're offering, especially for young people, to keep them out of jail. So, Chef Pat, if you could jump in here with us this morning. First of all, good morning. She just
morning.
smiling this morning. Look at,
I'm blessed. I'm happy.
Absolutely.
are you peachy?
I'm most definitely peachy.
Peachy.
I'm always peachy.
That's her word.
Yeah, I'm always peachy. Always peachy. As he just said, my name is Chef Pat Gray. I am the culinary instructor at St. Louis Job Corps Center. The center, we house about 520 students.
500?
Yes.
Whoa.
We're trying to get the center back to full capacity right now.
What is full
During
capacity?
the COVID, the 520.
Okay. All
I
right.
want you to slide that mic to you, the other
Yeah.
mic.
So
Slide it
during
all the way
COVID,
to you.
we lost a lot of students during COVID.
Get close to it for me.
So now we're trying to get the students back on center. I think we got, right now, OBS is like, what,
140, like
Okay,
120 or
and who's this
140.
Is this brother, because I can see, but I don't think the people can see you from this radio station. So can you tell me, are you Roosevelt, is it Robinson?
Yes, my name is Roosevelt Robinson.
Okay, and what do you do now currently at Job Corps?
I am the facility maintenance instructor. Ex-student, I replaced my instructor. So I
You're
teach
an ex-student of the Job Corps.
Correct.
Wow. We can clap it up.
Yeah. Yeah. That's testimony.
We can do that,
Yeah.
we can do
I'm an
that.
ex-student. I teach a facility maintenance course, which is a basic overall training of all the different trades. So I teach plumbing, electrical, drywall, carpentry,
Speak right into
painting.
that mic for me.
Yeah.
I teach carpentry, painting, drywall, electrical, plumbing, flooring. I teach a little bit of everything.
And you're proficient in all of those areas.
Correct.
That's powerful.
How about that?
Correct.
That's powerful.
And I owed it all to my instructor, Mr. Rodney Goff, because
Okay.
he told me I could do this, and I've been doing it ever since. But
How long is that?
I was in Job Corps in 1994.
Wow.
Wow.
I got Nationwide Student of the Year out of my trade.
Nationwide?
Come on, we can do it again.
Nationwide? Nationwide.
Yeah, and
Of all the Job Corps.
of all the Job Corps in the United States.
Oh, wow, that's heavy.
And I'm a high-performing instructor. I've been recently actually going to different Job Corps centers doing different builds for the company that I work for. So it's been a real good experience.
Well, Chef Pep been bragging on Shaheed.
Yeah.
Tell the secretary she got. I said, well, pump your brakes. Yeah, but y'all ain't heard from Roosevelt. I said, well, who's Roosevelt? You gonna find out who Roosevelt. I said, oh, yeah. You know how she talked to you.
Oh, yeah.
You know. So now she's acting all surprised and acting all brand
shy.
new. But jump on back on in there, Miss Shy.
I'm shy. I am shy, you know. So yes. Anyway, the students that we have is age 16 to 24. We have multiple trades up at Job Corps, multiple trades that they could come and get. But we don't just offer trades. We also offer high school diploma, high set, their GED. They get a driving license with them as well. So, and we pay them. So they get incentives
They get
to
a
come
little
to
stipend?
Job Corps. Yes, we get them stipends to come to Job Corps. And once they complete the program, we give them a check for completion. So they cannot leave the program without having a JTM, which is a job training match. So we make sure that we find them a job before they leave. And now we just partner with a company that'll help them get apartments as well.
Oh, nice.
Once they complete the
I
program.
want you to go a little slower.
That's
16 to
fantastic.
24 years old.
Yes.
Okay, come on back. License, what else did you say you do?
They get their HSD, the high school diploma.
Okay.
They can
Okay.
get their high set.
Okay.
And what is that
What's
now?
the GED?
It's just like a GED.
Okay, okay.
And they can get their driving license through Job Corps.
That's heavy.
They get all their credentials as well.
And then some of them even can stay on site.
Yes, they have residential and non-res,
See, this can save a young person's life.
most definitely.
This can, it reminds me of somebody walking on some quicksand and not somebody sending a stick down for them to hold on to it, pulling them on up. And all they got to do is hold on to it, because when you got carpentry under your belt, electricity under your belt, and
Any of
paint
those,
under
any of those.
Right.
those can, that's
You feed for life.
Those are lifelong,
Yeah.
skills.
and especially learning from a person on your level, bro. Because they didn't just give you that title in 1994 because you was just looking good. Not that you know.
I taught him.
Oh,
So,
here we go. Here we go. See,
You can't put a
Yeah.
this is an alpha female.
yeah, I told him. I gave him his hammer.
She's an alpha female.
She said, I gave him a
Look
hand.
how he looking.
She's an alpha
I
female.
know who I'm dealing with.
Yeah.
I know who I'm dealing with.
Well, brother, I'm excited always anytime I hear young people. When you say that age, these are ages that I see a lot of them in jail.
Yes.
Yes.
Or
And the
dead.
mere- Or dead.
Yes.
And the mere fact that Allah is blessing you to be able to give them all of it. See, not some of it. That's sometimes I don't think they even know that you're worth your weight in gold. And that's because what your instructor did to you. And you kind of
did for you.
Did for you. And you kind of remind me how we feel about Mary Bosley. Mary Bosley gave us all opportunities that we didn't have. And as the mayor of the city of St. Louis, he opened up all those doors to us. And I see you being the same way to some of these young people, because they'll never forget that it was you.
Oh, for sure.
It's a lifetime thing.
We most
Like, I never
definitely
forget
build
my instructor.
relationships.
I'll never forget my instructor. I know what he did for me. I was one of those guys that was in the quicksand. I got a stick thrown out to me, and
Yes.
the biggest payoff in Job Corps is when you get those students call you back and like, hey,
Yes.
I just got me a new car.
That's right.
I'm still working. I just got married. I want you to come to my wedding. You know,
Oh,
those are the
man,
things
yeah.
that,
Powerful.
you know. And we have some that don't complete, but like I tell any student that I accept in my trade, you always be my student. So if I
Right.
can be some type of assistance to you, I'm definitely here.
Oh man,
Forever students,
because
forever
sometimes they think you don't have nothing else to do with them. But by the fact that you say that to them, that means a lot.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you what else I love too is the no nonsense that I see about you. See, it's okay to be serious. You know, that really shows them you love them, because the opportunity you're giving them, by right, y'all doing a whole lot, and then getting them some stipend at the end and all that stuff. If you getting them by right, they supposed to be paying you to come up there and learn all these trades. I'm telling you, because when I was going to school, we had to pay. I had to pay what I learned in painting and decorating. They didn't get it to me free. Y'all giving it to them free and then giving them somewhere to stay and talking about giving them license and fixing where they can be right there going to school.
Free 99.
Hey, you know, free night. I like that free night. You
Free
can't
99.
you can't lose like that.
No.
You know, so I'm thankful that you're there helping some young people like that, bro. That's important.
How long is the program?
The trades different.
Okay. Say carpentry.
So carpentry is looking at like 10 to 12 months, and we all are pre-apprentice knowledge. And that's what we offer. But you know, I've had students that work for Guaranteed Electric, Clayco Construction. the painters, they get, all of the other guys are union. I'm non-union because I teach so many different trades in one, but I can get my students in all those different trades. So I've partnered with the painter on there, and we've helped students get into painting field, carpentry field. It's bricklaying, welding. I mean, and we have a good group of guys for us instructors, and that really cares, and that makes a difference.
Big difference.
You can be a
Big
teacher and
difference.
teach, or you can be a teacher that teach that care,
Right.
and I think that's where the difference really
Let me
comes
ask you a
into
question.
play.
Do you have a good, somebody that's real serious, a young person that want to learn how to paint?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
we got all, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, right now, for the most part.
Oh, yeah, I can
we,
get you.
we need to talk maybe one or two because I got quite a few brothers that I have trained to paint, and that's all they do for a living, and
Mm-hmm.
they're good. But their problem is they're looking for somebody who really wants to do this. Sometimes you haven't figured out what you want to do. Somebody might say carpentry, somebody want to paint, somebody want to do floor. But, you know, you have to find out what you like. If they really love painting, they're going to get an opportunity of a lifetime, I promise you.
Most
How,
definitely.
how many students do you have in the painting class?
The painting class, Mr. Damon Thompson, he teaches that. Good friend of mine. He probably have like 11 students in there right now.
Wow, okay.
You ever heard? I know you know about this concept called marbleizing.
Mm-hmm.
This is the guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, bar none. This is the baddest brother, and I would say that if he had the time, have him over there to let him give a demonstration. Just show
I
them,
didn't think about that. I was
just show them
here to catch
what.
their attention.
Oh man,
He ain't
I'm
gonna get
telling
his
you,
hands
It's the
dirty.
smallest things.
That and wood graining.
marble and wood grain. Yes, yeah.
Make anything, you see that metal, any metal that you see right there, you give me a couple hours and I can show you better than I can tell you.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
that's
the
the
kids
whole
need that. Need
Yeah,
that.
they need
That,
that.
Don't believe
and once
it.
they pick up on that,
Yeah, it'll catch that.
yes, yes.
Most
So
definitely.
what I like to do is make sure before you leave, we're gonna get with you anyway. Plus Chef Peck, she gonna make sure you got the number. You ain't got to worry about that. But Chef, if we can switch over for a minute, because what you do with this food piece, this culinary piece, I've got a chance, been blessed to see some of your students. I think I came at least about 4 or 5 times. to
If
speak
not
in-
more.
If not more. Talk to us about your students.
Oh,
And
my.
why do you stick in it? Because they held on, I mean, we keeping it real now. We talking about real students, and I mean, they not nothing to play with. And if you ain't the way you are, you bossy as hell. That's the only thing gonna make it work. But talk to them.
I'm very strict. I'm not
Yeah.
strict.
Okay.
Well, I'm not strict, but I'm strong with them because, see, you're not coming there to get a job. I'm trying to get you a career.
That's right.
So I've got multiple students that went to advanced training in California that's never even been on an airplane, and they're doing very well. They decided to live in California and got really great jobs. I can't say good jobs, good careers now.
Okay.
So that's what I do. I train winners. That's my job right there, is to train me
What you
some
say,
winners.
Train winners.
Winners.
Yes, that's what I do.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's what I do. I'm still at Job Corps because I feel like God needs me.
How long you been there, Pat?
Since 2014.
Yeah.
So you've been there for a minute now.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Been there
good.
for quite a while. I've been trying to run away, but it's
They
just
like
like
you.
they got a hold on
Yeah.
them kids. I love my kids. You know, you get them kids that's like, and you have no idea that they are diamonds in the rough. And you don't even see that because you looking over what they doing. You judging a book by its cover without opening that book and reading it. You know, they just need a little love and attention that they have not been getting at home.
Right, right.
And then when you show them that attention,
They come on with
they
it.
come on with it.
Yeah.
I heard a phrase that God made everybody great. It just takes a certain individual to bring that greatness out
Yeah.
of each
Right.
individual.
Right.
And
Yeah.
that's what Job Corps is a diamond in the rough. The lady said, I put 10 math problems on the board. I got 9 right and 1 wrong. Everybody pointed out the 1 wrong, but nobody said nothing about the 9 that was correct. So that's where Job Corps gets his bad stigma from. But I think that more success stories need to come out so they can see, because I wish several instructors up there that were students that teach now.
That was Job Corps students.
That was Job
Yes,
Corps
we got the
students.
material
So,
handling instructor.
got the
was a
plastering
student. The
instructor.
plastering instructor was a student.
we had
Isn't that
CTS
something?
workers, we have records
Yes.
workers. I mean, almost in every department there's somebody that was a student.
Tell
that works
them
at Job
why
Corps.
you and so many of them come back. People are listening.
Yes. Yeah.
They're listening this morning. Tell them why, what the commitment that you have, the love that you have, and what it did. To talk to the
I do general contracting work. So I worked for like McBride and Sons, some of the biggest contractors out there. And when I had got the call twice. And the second time, he was like he was done, and his body couldn't take it no more. So when I got there, I didn't know what to expect. And when I got there, though, I knew that it was nothing else I was supposed to do, because I'm looking at the same young men and women that was me and the guys that was in my trade when I was there that need that assistance. And I got some of the guys that's in my trade, they own their own companies. They do U-Fit, electrical, they own houses, trucks, everything. And I use that as a success story to the students, just to let them know, I'm no better than you. I sat in the same building.
That's
I was
important.
getting some of the same instructions, because I kind of mock my instructions off of my instructor, because I know what he did for me. I was listening, but I wasn't listening, but I heard it. And I wanted to do the same thing for
And just
somebody
think
else.
about it. You got there and never thought the first day you walked into that building that you would be the instructor teaching that.
Never thought. He said it years after
Ain't
I
that
completed. I got there the first 3 days. I was supposed to get 6 weeks of training. First 3 days, I said, "Here you go," and they walked out. And so it was
Who walked out?
my boss. He was like, "Here you go." He had to go get somebody else started somewhere
Okay.
else, and
Yeah, he felt
so
good.
I,
He
you were
felt
ready.
that comfortable
After
with
3
you.
days.
yeah,
Let me
I had
ask
a
you
good
question.
rapport.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I had a good rapport with my instructor, and he told them, he's like, "Don't hire my son, don't hire nobody else." He said, "If you want this program ran the way I ran it," because he was there for 35 years, and he kept the A program. We get graded A, B, C,
Oh, most
F,
definitely.
and if we're not performing, we have to leave.
Yeah, and they had a big shift
Yeah.
in staff. But I wanted to ask you, what is the process of coming back? So, as I shared with Chef Pat, my son, and I shared with you, he actually went through, I thought it was carpentry, maybe it was construction. I think it's carpentry. But he's very successful. He's on his way to becoming a journeyman.
Probably a foreman now. If he's been there about four
Well,
or
so
five.
he went, and let me tell you how great this field is. He started and he was there for 3 years working in his field. He left and went and took a job at a factory. He just wanted a break. He took a job at a factory for almost 2 years. When he went back, he would have been there 5 years, but he only had 3 years experience. They started him out as if he never left.
Yeah,
field.
you keep your union dues up. You will, like, I'm a journeyman. I'm a union carpenter by trade. I teach a non-union trade at this moment, so I can leave Job Corps and I can go right back to the carpenters union, and I will be the journeyman that I was when I left. So I will walk back in at the rate and everything as a journeyman. So yeah, that's correct.
So let's say somebody like my son want to come teach a Job Corps. What other credentials would he need outside of experience? Should he 5 years experience, 10 years experience?
It's not really the experience. I was watching this thing on my Facebook Live about this young lady that was a Job Corps student in Massachusetts. She's an HBI instructor. Like, she's one of my coworkers, but she's in Massachusetts, and she explained it. She only was out of she only left the center for 4 years, became a journeyman, and then she got offered to come back. Now the carpenters, he will have to apply through the carpenters union. Some people be in line, or it just depends. Like, we just had like a turnaround on carpenters, so they had interviews. So it's just an interview process, and they give all the training that you need. Like, I had to take a course at Ohio State to teach my company's curriculum.
Okay.
So the carpenters will do the same thing.
Okay. That's what I
Painters
wanted
and
to know.
everybody. So it's not how long you've been gone or how long you've been in the field. It's just, if you got the skills and your resume back you up, it's no time limit.
Brother Roosevelt, what I want to do, I'm going to keep you out here for another segment. I think it's too much that we haven't covered.
Yes.
I want to take our time. This is Job Corps, and this is the opportunity of a lifetime. And I want, as Mary Bartlett say, mamas, get them old lazy boys.
Get them boys up.
Yeah.
I'm talking about now,
Get
because you're
them
not going to
boys
get a
up.
chance to get these kind of opportunities every day. You're talking about a brother who's coming from his heart, who came back because he's seen himself, and he could see the young people looking like how he looked. And you felt as though you and some of the other ones could help them. And that's what we want to do. I want them to get them up. I want y'all to be ready. This
right.
next segment, going to come in, call somebody now and say, "Hey, Martha and Joy, get Charlie up." Because Charlie laying down in the bed.
Because
That's
it's been up all night.
Man, he ain't been up.
Yeah, it's been up all night.
Playing the
fooling around.
game, playing the game,
Yeah.
video
Well,
game.
we got to go
Riding
to the
around,
next segment.
acting crazy. All right, hold it. You're listening to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show on
What you
KTZ
looking at me like that
1600.
for?
Hallelujah! AM.
We're keeping on
Keep it
lock.
on lock. Quit
Quit
playing.
playing.
Ho! 1600 Hallelujah AM. This last segment we've had Miss Chef Pat and Brother Roosevelt Robinson. Chef Pat's talking about food and the culinary arts, and Brother Robinson's talking about some getting down and dirty, talking about that construction trade, carpenters, electricians,
You know what they
plumbers, all of them, and it was very interesting. So we asked them to stay over for another segment so that they could get out more information to us.
So, Brother Roosevelt, what I want you to do, because I want to make sure you catch their attention. When they learn these trades, give me like electrician. How much money can he make as an apprentice
As an apprentice,
out there with the unions? As an apprentice, and then how much can he make as a journeyman after about 3 or 4 years under training? I want to make sure I catch their attention, and if you can kind of give me what the carpenters make on it don't have to be the exact,
Right.
but I want to catch their attention because one of the things that happens once you learn this trade, not only can you make that kind of money, but you can go do something for yourself on the side.
I do that also. I did Chef's House.
Well, you didn't make no money, but go ahead. Hey, we're on the radio, so I got to keep it professional.
The electricians right now, they're making like, their top pay is around $45, almost $50 an hour.
I know you ain't lying.
The carpenters, they're making, I think their top scale is right around $38, $40 an hour. We offered, the company I work for and some of the other trades too, we offer advanced training. So you can leave where I'm at, you can leave my trade and then go straight to work. You might start off with $16, $18 an hour, depending on your skills. Or you can go to advanced training and you can leave with $20, $24, $30 an hour. We've had students walk out of Job Corps making $32 an hour.
That's beautiful.
And that's just, out of that program, not talking about advanced training. So it's all up to the individual. Like, if they come with their mind focused on having a career and not a job, it's two different things, a job and a career. They can be very successful.
You know how my brother Mark is who turned me on to really how deep painting was, because that's what me and my whole
I
entire
thought
family
that was
do.
your idea.
I got Mark out to Disneyland, but my brother Mark,
Yeah, I heard about
my
that.
brother Mark was painting before, and he wound up
Before
painting with
you?
some. Yes, he started playing with some Dagos, and they were bad. They didn't let a lot of black people see the work that they did. So my brother always paid attention because they were doing stuff like Scagliola, Gold Leaf, and most people never even seen Gold Leafing being performed.
But they hadn't heard of gold leaf.
They haven't even heard of
Right.
gold leafing. But less than only seeing it being performed in those types of trades where you do bamboo. At Disneyland, we was doing bamboo, we was doing wood grain, we were doing marbleizing, we was doing all that kind of stuff. But what he made me understand with painting, no different from electricity and carpentry, every house has to have some kind of carpentry work on it. Every house in the world has to have some type of painting on it. Every house in the world has to have some plumbing work on it. And when he really made me understand that, then the sky was the limit, because once you learn that trade, he always put his hands up to my head, just like this, and say, nobody can pull it out.
Can't never take
And
it
once
from
I
them.
understood that, shit, I was on and popping, man. I was on and popping. So that's what I want you to make sure they understand, that most of these trades, once you become a journeyman, you can make as much as $40 to sometimes $50 an hour. But even starting off as an apprentice, a beginner, they can start with $16 to $20 an hour, and they're learning. And
With good benefits. There's I had a child that I had added onto my insurance, and they went back 12 years. I mean, you don't get that nowhere else.
What you mean he went back 12 years?
They went back 12 years. So
Oh,
I had
sure.
a child that I didn't know about until, I'm putting my business out on the street,
Right,
but I'm
right.
totally fine with that. I
It's
had a
all
child
right.
that I didn't know about until he was 12 years old.
Okay.
Wasn't nothing the mom did or I did wrong. We just didn't know. And once we found out, I went and put him on my insurance as a union carpenter.
Oh, wow.
And they told me while I'm standing there filling out the information, I took the blood test and everything there. They said that we're going to go back to when he was born.
Wow.
If there's anything that wasn't
That's
picked
good.
up, we're going to pick it up.
that's it.
So that's the other benefit. You got pensions and everything that a lot of these young people don't understand about in the construction field, and the benefit of that life skill. Like
Yeah.
I did her house. I did epoxy countertops, made it look like granite. I took wood
Yeah.
and make it look like granite.
Yeah.
And what I do is I show them what they can do. I have a new truck and then I have an old truck that I drive, and my old truck is filled with tools in the back. So
Yes.
I'll take it to work and I'll unroll it and I'll be like, look, come out here.
Yes.
Every tool in there is in this truck.
Yeah.
and these is mine. This is the center's,
Right.
but these is mine. And so when I leave here, I can go make some money
Right.
at any time.
That entrepreneurship.
Tell us about, if you can, give us a case scenario of one of your most difficult students and what it was that caused the light bulb to come on.
I had a student. It's crazy you say that because I always talk about Lawrence Jones. It's amazing how you remember because this is one of my first classes. But Lawrence Jones was one of those street heavy guy, like,
Right.
you know, and I would make, because I like repetition. I tell my students, it's like brushing your teeth. Once
Right,
you,
right.
people don't even realize when you brush your teeth, you go in the same direction every day. I mean,
Yeah,
if you
right,
think about it. But so I told him, he got mad at me one day and he kind of like buckled
Buffed
up to me.
Yeah.
And me being me, I was like, I want you to understand something, Lawrence. I'm a man before I'm anything, so I will protect myself.
Yeah.
I said, now, after I leave, I'm going to go be working tomorrow. They'll still be picking you up off the ground, so think about what you're doing. So
You
he
throw
was-
them things, huh?
and he walked around mad all day long. So later on that day, he come back. He said, Mr. Robert, I want to apologize to you. He said, my mom told me that you must see something in me because you wouldn't spend that much time debating with me about what I'm doing. So to make a long story short, the regional director was there. And he come in, he checking on everybody. Lawrence had just completed, graduated, getting ready to go to Rankin. And I'm talking to the regional director. He comes immediately just walking between us. I'm like, oh, Lawrence, this is like the director. You can't. But he said, Mr. Robinson, he said, I want to thank you. He said, I ain't never had a man in my life that pushed me the way you do to be great and all of this. And I want to definitely let you know I appreciate everything you done for me. And I'm looking like, Lawrence, that's my job. That's what I'm here to do. And the whole time, I'm thinking like, oh, he didn't just walk in front of the regional director being rude.
Right.
But that's what he wanted to hear.
Right. Oh, absolutely.
That's what he wanted
That's
to
a
hear.
testimonial.
And, you know, he didn't ask me no questions. He said, are they getting you what you need? I said, yep. He said, well, I'll see you later.
Wow.
And walked right out of my shop. So
He cried when he got in the car.
I did.
That's good.
That's good business.
No, but then that means the mom already said it. You saw something in him. You know, and the best thing that I can think about, you talked about all the tools that you have, bro. Once they learn those trades, they don't never have to worry about when the police pull behind them, throwing a hammer away, throw a saw away, throw a leveler away, throw nothing away. When you're out there doing that, and look at the kind of money you make. It's just as much money in construction as in the dope game. Matter of
Man.
fact, it's more money in the construction trade than the dope game.
And you ain't got to look over your shoulder.
And you got sure
sleep
money
at
is what
night.
I'm talking about. You know, so to help us, I want people to understand. People, I want you to make sure you're listening now because he's not going to be able to come on there every week. Chef Pat is not going to be able to come on here every week. You got them on here now. They're doing 2 segments to make sure that you understand that you need to get up and be calling some numbers. So we're going to keep on talking. We got another 10 minutes or so to go, but I want y'all to start giving some numbers out so they can hear it about 15 to 20 times so they won't have no reason if they talking about learning how to cook. Because men need to know how to cook.
Almost definitely.
You know?
You wine and dine a woman,
Yeah.
boy, that'll really get you know how to cook in the kitchen for a
Okay,
meal.
so what is your now? I don't know these numbers. Can you help get these numbers out, Chef Pat?
You can reach Chef Pat at 314-679-6544.
Okay, they don't take shorthand.
314-679-6544.
Is that a direct number for you?
That is my direct number in my office, and we're at 4333 Goodfellow.
Okay. So now what about Brother Roosevelt? How they, you just want, so you all about you. You ain't gonna get his information
He
out?
can do it himself. He ain't handicapped.
I can be reached at
You can tell she in the building because you're married.
I can be reached at 314-679-6175. And I've always remembered that number because that was a number of my instructor when I was there.
Wow.
And I've always remembered. When I came and got hired, and I said, it's crazy that I actually remembered the number. Like, but I used to call them all the time, though. I ain't gonna.
Say that number again, though. I want-
314-679-6175.
Okay. Now is it an extension?
That's my direct. That's my direct line.
Okay.
And we can assist you on getting talk to the right people to get enrolled.
Most definitely.
It's definitely the thing that I do want to mention is the industry is hurting with skilled workers across the United States, not in St. Louis, only in St. Louis, across the United States. They're needing bodies out there. The older guys are retiring, the younger guys are moving up, don't have newer guys to coming in, and so across the board, and they definitely looking for women in the construction field too. So women, it's a bunch of instructors that I work for that are women. So women are definitely needed in the
I know a woman
field.
plumber that is bad.
It's a set of sisters in St. Louis that are plumbers. They have their own plumbing business.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what's so heavy about this here. If they're not lazy, you just said something that was very important. Because there's a lot of people now that don't want to work, and there's those guys that have been in the union for years. They don't want to work because they feel though they got seniority and all that other kind of stuff. If you come on and do pretty much what you did, or probably Lawrence, I don't know what Lawrence is doing. Now, where's Lawrence at anyway?
Lawrence, I haven't talked to him in a while, but he's doing pretty good. They reach out to me. Most of my students reach out to me and keep in contact with me, and that's one thing I do like.
Do some of them come up to the school?
We can't.
We can't
we'll meet 'em at
allow.
the front gate.
We'll meet them at the front gate, but they'll come up. They'll call. They'll invite me out for dinner.
That's beautiful.
I had a guy from Sheboygan, Wisconsin,
Wow.
call me and tell. I mean, he talks to me all the time. I had students and that has Down syndrome, and they will call me all the time and just thank me for everything that I've done for them. That's the payoff. Like, I mean,
Oh, yeah.
of course we have to make money with what we're doing in life, but.
Yeah.
This is our call. Like she said, that's her calling and this is mine. And I love what I do.
We're not there for a check. You know, some people just at a job for a check. And that's not, I could say that the Job Corps staff that we have, they're not there just for a check. They actually generally care about
They're
these
committed.
kids, you know?
Yeah.
It's like they say, if you can give a man a fish, he can eat for a day. But if you teach him how to fish, he'll eat for a lifetime.
Oh, Chef, look at
So-
you out there teaching now. Oh, yeah.
So, he's so special. So what I'm trying to say about us teaching these students these trades, they can go far.
Yes.
They
Yeah.
can really go far, especially in the culinary field, you know, because you got to eat to live, right? So you got to always nourish your body in order for your body to go. So always going to be money out there in the culinary field.
Well, I know she want me to
But
put.
you know what I
I've
love,
been,
what I love about Job Corps is that you all treat the whole student. And what I mean by that is you offer education, housing, health care, daycare assistance if needed. They don't have to worry about how they're going to get to the internship site. You all have transportation for them.
Yes.
If they have an issue, mental health wise, you know, they need some emotional support. You have that on campus. You
Yes.
treat the whole individual, and I love that.
we give them bus passes for those that are non-res. We offer them bus passes so they can get back and forth to school as well for the non-res students as well.
I like the fact that when they complete the program, they can come back, as you said, and get more training to advance themselves further. I like the fact that when they leave Job Corps, they can call and say, hey, that last job didn't work out. I need somewhere else to go. And you all are right there for them. Job Corps is a phenomenal program, you know,
Most
and I think
definitely.
that a lot of people don't really understand or don't really get it because they see, oh, Job Corps, maybe they got kicked out of school. Everybody that go to Job Corps don't get kicked out of school.
No.
My son received a high school diploma
yes.
from Rockwood School District. And when he got his high school diploma, he was concerned about the direction he wanted to go. And he was concerned about the college tuition. He didn't want to be in a lot of debt. And look where he is now. Literally, he's doing well. And so I'm grateful for that. Job Corps is a special place, guys. Give out those numbers again.
You can reach Chef Pat at 314-679-6544.
And you can reach Roosevelt Robinson at 314-679-6175. I also have a suggestion to
on.
people on my live stream. It was like bring the students on camera or on so maybe they can, so the younger people can hear that success story from that age group. And I think
Yes.
that's a good idea.
Maybe we can have
Yes.
you on back with some students.
Yes.
I'm
Most
totally fine with that.
definitely.
Maybe,
Or maybe-
get Lawrence to come back.
Oh,
Yeah.
if I will reach out to Lawrence.
Yeah.
I will.
Or how about you all come on center and see what we see?
Okay, do a live. We'll do a live.
Yeah, come on center and see
Freeman
what we
Bosley
see.
show on the road.
Right,
Yeah.
because
Mobile.
you know what,
Shoot on
most
shoes,
people
show on the road.
think of Job Corps as a place for bad kids,
It's not.
It's not.
and that's all they
Or
hear, they
kids that
see,
dropped out.
or dropouts or whatever. But that's not true. Before the COVID, we had students from all over the world
Yes.
that came to Job Corps.
Yes.
Yes.
You know, from Africa that didn't even speak English,
Yeah.
but they was there getting
Yes.
themselves a trade.
Yes. I
So
remember.
Job Corps is not just for bad students. I don't call them bad.
They're not bad.
students. That's not what I want to call them.
They're
Are they
challenging.
wayward?
They're wayward. They're challenging.
Well, you know, you want some of them can be
Yeah.
but then you can get through to them
Yes,
too.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we have to
That's
ask.
change.
We have to ask what happened to them. You know what I'm saying? And then we go in and we address that. And that's something I wrote down here too. You all deal with the trauma.
Yeah, it's called MAB.
deal
We
with
call
the
it
trauma.
MAB. It's managing aggressive behavior. Find out what's causing you to act like that instead of
Yes.
just going you directly and yelling and screaming,
Yes.
hey, come here. Because I have a lot of students that come around me all the time that ain't even my students. They're not even in my trade. And she does the same thing. Like, they'll come around because they see how I treat my students. And then I'll open the door. I see some students walking around doing, where you supposed to be at? Get to where you're supposed to be at, you know, and after a while they cling to you.
Yeah.
And then they like that guidance because some of them just been misguided or just
Yes.
misled.
Or
And
no
it's just some of the
And
small
I was just about to
that
say
there
no
too.
guidance.
It be the
they
smallest
say,
things that
I would
get
rather
them.
live on a rooftop than live in a house with a contiguous woman, but it can
Oh,
say
that's my
either
daily
way.
scripture.
Right? That's either way. And you know, that's how I can't say we, but that's how I be feeling about some of the students that we get in there at very first time. I'm like, I think I'm gonna go up on this roof where it's storming it right now because this boy gonna make me ooh. But then once like I said, instead of judging that book by its cover, once I open that book and read this student's story,
Yes.
that'll make me want to go ahead and come on back down in the house.
Well, and that's why it takes real people dealing with real people.
Yes.
That's why it takes you and you, brother, because you've been there. See, we live this life experience.
Right.
And we can get a chance to touch them the way nobody else can touch them by just being real with them and let them know, hey, this is the opportunity of a lifetime. That's why I want you to constantly keep getting this number out. I want to give it out. Can you get this number out? 'Cause
Yes.
I don't think they gave it out.
For those who just tuned in, we are speaking here with Brother Roosevelt Robinson from Job Corps and Chef Pat. And so if you're interested in a career where you're going to build a home, you want to reach out to Brother Roosevelt Robinson at 314-679-6175. 314-679-6175. If you want to build a home, if you want to go in and repair and fix, reach out to him. But if you want to keep a home and make it a home,
Oh, boy. Here we
all
go.
right now,
Okay.
you want to make it a home, you have to reach out to Chef Pat. 314-679-6544.
each other this morning.
Stroke it. I'll take it.
Say it
Go
again.
ahead.
Go ahead. What's that number?
314-679-6544. Chef Pat.
And what's that address? Come on, y'all going way too
That
fast for me.
address, 4333 Goodfella Boulevard. 4333 Goodfella Boulevard, 63120.
All right.
All right.
If you don't get on this mama, you don't get on this even daddy or whoever, if you listen to a young brother and you don't understand what you have with Job Corps, shame on you. It's your fault.
Building
parents can call
careers
us.
and changing
This is an
lives.
opportunity of a lifetime. This is the best kept secret. It's not a secret no more. We done put Job Corps business all out in the street now. This morning, you all over the world, and we want people to make sure that they call that number 314. I want to give it out. 679-6544. I don't want you talking about when we really couldn't get the number. Y'all going too fast. I'm slow.
Let's bring it
So
up.
I'm giving out 314-679-6544. That's Chef Pat, direct number, and then Brother Roosevelt, 314-679-6175, 679-6175. The same number his teacher had, he got.
And you all are
We
still
have
taking
open
students
house.
out of state?
Say that again.
You're still taking students from out of state as well?
Yes,
Yes, correct.
we taking them all.
Okay.
And what's
We
the
take 'em
age?
all.
Age limit?
16 to 24. We'll even take them 16 to 25 as well.
When is that open house?
We have an open house coming up. Is it October 14th?
October the 14th.
October the
Okay,
14th,
so
we
it's
have open
okay.
house.
It's just passed.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
and
So you
mama,
had the open
and
house.
mama, we know that we got them boys in the house. They in the basement. They up on the third floor. They smoking. They drinking. They going to your ice box looking for food. They soak up your heat in the wintertime. They soak up your air in the summertime. Now's the time to try to introduce them to Job Corps. If they not doing anything, turn them on to Job Corps. They'll help them out a little bit. They'll try to show them a way.
Even the females, the ladies too.
Oh yeah, well.
All right,
We
guys.
got to get these females in there too.
Call Job Corps.
Don't let me get started.
Building
on
careers and
these
changing
girls.
lives. Building careers
I
and
used
changing
to think
lives.
it was the boys.
4333, good fella. 4333, good fella. You need to be standing out there waiting to see Chef Pat asking for Brother Roosevelt Robinson. But our time is gone now. We done did 2 segments.
It's good.
And we appreciate
Very
y'all
good.
coming in this morning.
Yeah.
You know, live into the
Anytime.
studio. We appreciate that very much.
Yeah.
But Mary, we only got 7 seconds. What's
Well,
up?
it's time to go.
7
It's time to go to
seconds.
leave this segment. You're listening to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show.
Okay.
On KATZ 1600. Hallelujah.
Well,
AM.
keep it on lock. Quit playing.
Ho!
News and a lot of other things he's doing, and he's going to help us. So we down to our last few seconds, so take it.
Welcome back, St. Louis. Welcome back. Welcome back. You're listening to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show. Hallelujah. We're back. Hey, Brother Shaheed.
Don't tell no, hey, Brother Shaheed. I ain't
Take it.
I ain't to
Listen,
start
we've
the
had
show
a
this
great.
time.
I'm not going to do this with you this morning. We've had a great show.
Don't let me call who was
We've
Tim
had
on
a
you.
great show.
Don't let me call who was Tim.
Yes. We gave out some nuggets. I know you all took notes.
Yes.
Yes. But we're not done yet.
Well, who do we have that you felt though we had to wait and set the tone? You said the best is for last. I thought you were talking about Chef Pat. I thought you were talking about Roosevelt. I thought you were talking about our guest earlier. But who are you talking about?
I'm so glad our listening audience know you. Good morning, Brother Robert. Good
How's it
morning.
going?
Good morning. Good
What's
morning.
his name?
Brother Robert, thank you for joining us. Now, Brother Robert is the behind the scene with the New Real STL News, and that's how I got a chance to meet him. But he has his own business. It's Hot Live Media LLC.
Ah, yes, ma'am. That's right. That's correct.
All right. Welcome to the show, brother. And tell us more about your business. Because I know you said, when I met you, say, hey, I can make you an app. I can get you, on this Roku. I keep messing the
Yeah.
word up. But tell us.
So it's like a music streaming app, like MTV,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not a TV channel. It's a streaming app. You can look it up on Roku TV, and you also look it up on Amazon Fire TV, and there's also Google Play as well. And I also make the apps myself. So yeah.
Yeah. You know what I like? What you told me.
What?
Self-taught.
Yeah.
I said, well, where did you go to school? How did you learn all of this? He said, I taught myself.
So you're 28. How old are you, young man?
I'm just 28.
Okay. And how long you been doing this?
About I want to say 2 years now.
Okay, that's good. Okay, and you look like a young brother, as sharp as an attack.
Thank you.
So, and you taught yourself. You're self-motivated and stuff, because if you taught yourself, you had to be.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So what gave you what made you want to go into creating apps and
The potential. I want to say the wealth potential. What I mean by wealth potential is like, it's if you're familiar with passive income, and then like the idea of apps making money, like Facebook, Instagram, and then like Pandora. Like since Pandora is still popping, and it's like still about music. Well, I could create my own app. It's also like music too, but instead of just being music and streaming audio, it can stream music videos, and I'm always looking for artists too to put on the platform too. That's one thing about it. But if you have like a streaming service, and it's just like a streaming service like Netflix, it's like anything.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you think about it per subscriber. You charge per subscriber, or you can charge free. Whatever you prefer. Like charge monthly subscription, or it could be like a pay-per-view. I mean, you do the math, and say if you multiply that by 1,000 or 1,000,000, just the potential of it. It's got enough to make money, and that's that's just the idea of passive income.
So I know that we talked about this before because one of the videos on the New Real SEO News went viral.
Yeah.
And they had an earning potential of about $5K, but you was like, if we had our own platform, we do the numbers on that.
Yeah.
And it was like a lot of money.
Yeah, like $3.99 or like $3.99 or $4.99 multiply that by like 1 point. I think it went up to 2 million views actually. I mean, you got a potential to make 10 mil. I mean,
Yeah.
Yes.
Just
And
like
so,
that.
yeah.
and we bring.
But I was also going to say, you also want to like kind of, I ain't gonna say force your audience, but kind of persuade them to like, hey, check out our streaming service, on like the smart TVs and on Google Play, Apple Play, yeah.
Okay.
Just gotta persuade them. It's a little bit of marketing behind that too. So
Okay.
I mean, a lot of people just wanna like, how you go on YouTube and you're like, hey, like and subscribe. You can just tell them like and subscribe on Facebook. Or just, hey, check out the TV apps or check out our smartphone apps, Just-
So, Hot Live Media LLC, what kind of artists do you have on there?
I just got local artists right now, Yeah, I got just local artists right now at the moment.
Okay. And I've been on the app. You actually sent it to me, and I got a chance to look at it. I like the setup. It was really easy to use.
Yeah.
So, business owners, why would they benefit from creating an app? What kind of businesses would benefit?
Well, here's one topic. I'm not trying to like sound controversial like that, but when COVID-19 first hit, a lot of companies had shut down. So a lot of companies were trying to pull some out their tail. Okay, so we're losing money. Our brick and mortar shops are shut down. So how can we make money? A lot of them were kind of going virtual. And by virtual, going towards the app route or some sort of route where they can make money online. So that's what I did.
Okay. Well, thank you. And we appreciate you because we kind of put Robert on the spot this morning. He came in to view.
You put him on the spot. This young brother sharp.
Yes.
You don't put him on the spot. When something happened, he told me he'd go in his mind and rescue himself, and that's what he did. He came out with flying colors.
Yes, he did. We thank
that's what
you.
I'm talking about.
Thank you.
That's what you're doing.
And like you
So-
said, we unscripted. We don't make nothing up.
No. So he's going to help take us, we say, inshallah, if Allah bless us to another level and be able to help us to be able to push what's happening out here in this community.
Let them share with the audience how to reach him because you said you were looking for artists.
Oh,
If
yeah.
you could just tell them how to reach you in case an artist want to reach out to you and get on your app.
Yeah, I mean, so you could contact my company email. So it's robert@hotlivemedia.com. There's no Gmail, no AOL. It's just robert@hotlivemedia.com.
All right.
Go a little
Thank
slow.
you.
Y'all go way too fast for me, man. You go calm. Go slow. Look at
Okay, so it's robert@hotlivemedia.com.
Okay. Just want to make sure we get your information out there, brother. We want you to help push. Next week or whenever we get a chance to, I know we touched on it and still don't have time now because we got less than 3 minutes left. This thing with Jeff Rorter. This is a white boy. It's a real white boy. And I want to be able to cover this white boy. So for the white folks, the white fraternal order police to get rid of him, he had to be some chitlins, straight thinking. I'm just telling you, because for them white folks to get rid of him, I mean, I don't know what they put out in the media, but I'm just telling you, he ain't no damn good. This brother Shaheed speaking. I'm not speaking for nobody up here. I'm not speaking for Chef Pat. I'm not speaking for Job Corps. I'm not speaking for Brother Roosevelt. I'm not speaking for who is Tim. I'm not speaking for Robert. I'm speaking for Brother Shaheed. That white boy ain't no damn good. He ain't worth two dead flies. So when white folks say you ain't no good, and they ain't no good, that damn fraternal order police ain't no damn good. For them to say Jeff Rorter need to go, that white boy was buck. He was playing a little Donald Trump up there. He was doing something he ain't had no business doing. But I'm waiting for somebody to give me some info, and then we'll get a chance to get on that. I also want to give a number out for anybody on any Friday can call in. We have a prayer line for anybody who's going through something. If you're going through anything and you've been having some problems and you lost a family member or someone is sick, we have a prayer line every Friday, and that telephone number is 1-667-770-1476. Again, that's 667-770-1476. And the PIN number for you is 196 854-196-854. Call because somebody is me today and you tomorrow, or it's me today and you today. The next thing I'm going to do is make sure we talk about a black business. I know you want to jump in, but go find a black business. I don't care where that black business is. Go find that black business and spend some money, some black dollars with that black business. Why? These so-called holidays is coming up, and y'all like throwing y'all money to them white folks. White folks like spending money with white folks. Yeah, this is how I talk. This brother Shaheed, white folks spend money with white folks, and black folks like spending money with white folks. I want you to spend some money with some black folks because the holidays are coming. This is how people get out if they're in a hole, they can get out the hole by you spending some money with them. And money on the wood make the game go good. And romance without finance is a nuisance and give you no chance. You better say me because I'm going to go buck wild on these folks.
I want bring it on. I'm not going to stop you.
Yeah.
We want to definitely give a shout out. I know it was a couple of weeks ago, but Brother Nuri Muhammad was in St. Louis, and
Okay, so you was there. So what are you looking at me
I got
for?
a couple of books. It's really great. So we just want to give a shout out. Great teaching that he did over at Maz 28. And shout out to Minister Donald Muhammad.
I want to just give a recap on who was that brother Tim was it Canada. Great job on the piece on breast cancer. Brother Robert, who's going to help us go to another level. We know it was Tim. I want to thank Chef Pat, who they still ain't left the studio, so no telling what she's hanging around for. And also, well, she likes all that. And Brother Roosevelt Robinson, want to thank you too.
And we want to also shout out Captain Marvin Parks over there at the Great Job Corps, doing a great job.
Beautiful.
Shout out to my brother. We miss you.
That's 33. What is that? 3343.
4333.
Okay. So
4333 Goodfellow Boulevard, guys. Thank you for tuning in to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show.
keep it on lock and start playing.
We're playing.
Pop, 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 pop. Close it out like that.
All right, welcome back, St. Louis. Thank you for tuning in to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show. And we are back. Listen, guys, we've had a great show this morning, and I thank you all just for tuning in and hanging out with us. I need you to run on over to Facebook if you have not done so. If you're listening in your car, go ahead and run over to Facebook once you get settled, and like our page, tag and follow, and invite others. Run over to YouTube and do the same. Just subscribe to YouTube. We're live on both platforms. Also, if you have the iHeart app, or if you don't have the iHeart app, rather, download that app onto whatever electronic device that you have so you can take our show with you wherever you go, right? And so we appreciate that. Be sure to invite at least 10 people. Invite 10 people and invite them in, okay? I kind of want to make a shift this morning and just talk to you about October the 12th is the last date to get registered for this general election that is coming up on November the 8th. Again, I will say that October the 12th, this coming Tuesday, is the last day for you to get registered to vote for the general election on November the 8th. I also want to just come back and I'm going to drill down again on these voting laws with House Bill 1878. And it said, what's new in Missouri? All right, so effective August the 28th this year, the laws changed, and we need to know the voter ID is going to be required for this election. You will need to present the following to cast a regular ballot in person. So in order to cast a regular ballot in person, you need a non-expired Missouri driver's license or a non-driver state ID card. You can have a non-expired military ID, including a veteran's ID. You can have a non-expired United States passport or another current photo ID from Missouri or federal government. Again, I'll say that a current photo ID from Missouri or a federal ID card. All right. Eliminate voter registration cards and student options. You do not have that option anymore. You cannot use a voter registration card. You cannot use a student ID. Okay. And so you have to have a valid ID. If you do not have a valid photo ID, you can cast a provisional ballot that will only count if the voter returns to the poll with photo ID or signature match. Again, so that provisional ballot, you can vote, but you would need to return to the poll with a photo ID or a signature match, okay? That is the only way you will be able to vote without the valid ID. Now, voter registration restrictions, illegal. It is illegal for anyone except the government to be paid or compensated for soliciting voter registration. Again, so these voter laws have changed with this new bill that became in effect on August the 28th, House Bill 1878. It is now illegal for anyone to be paid or compensated for soliciting voter registration. Those soliciting 10 or more voter registrations must register with the Secretary of State as a voter registration solicitor. Solicitors must be 18 years of age and a Missouri registered voter. I will say that again. If you are planning to register 10 or more people, then you must be registered with Secretary of State voter registration as a solicitor. You must be 18 years of age, and you must be a registered voter. You would go to the Secretary of State website, get that form, print it out, fill it out, and you can email it or fax it back. Make sure you complete it in its entirety and sign it, and you can email it or fax it back. Again, so you want to go to the Secretary of State website. And I'll put that information on our Facebook page, on the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show Facebook page for your ease, so you don't have to look for it. Now, absentee voting changes. So, yes, you can still absentee vote, but it's illegal for anyone to solicit an absentee ballot application. 2 weeks, no excuse, in-person absentee voting with photo ID. So that means that for 2 weeks prior to the election, you can vote. And you don't have to have an excuse. You can just go out and vote, in-person absentee ballot, okay, with a photo ID. Caregivers must reside with the confined person to vote, absentee. So you just can't help anyone. You have to live with this person and your caregiver, and you're taking care of someone. You can assist this person with the absentee vote. No absentee ballot drop boxes, so that's eliminated now. And first responders can vote absentee. Now that's the great thing about this bill. First responders can vote absentee. All right. Next, other voting changes in House Bill 1878. It eliminates presidential preference primaries. It allows Secretary of State to audit voter rolls and order removal of voters. So you want to make sure that you're even, be sure that you're eligible to vote, because the Secretary of State can audit the voter roll and order removal of voters. Order removal of voters. So guys, go ahead and make sure that you are listed and able to vote. Also, it eliminates electronic machines. It requires hand-counted paper ballots. So those electronic machines, they have done away with, and you will have to have, now they're requiring hand-counted paper ballots. Okay? It gives legislature power over challenges to voting laws, and also no grants outside of funds to local election authorities. Again, no grants or outside funds to local election authorities. It allowed private audits of elections, and this bill also allowed voters to update registration addresses at the poll. So you can update your address at the poll. That's another good thing that came out of this bill. All right? So if you want to get involved and help the rights to protect the rights of people to vote, then reach out to Missouri Voter Protection, and that's 1-866-OUR-VOTE, 1-866-OUR-VOTE. If you would like to help out and become a solicitor, or they're having they're having ID clinics, because the government has allowed for those persons who don't have a valid ID, then they will pay for a non-driver state ID, and they will give a voucher for that, and they will also pay for the birth certificate, so you can have that done. I want to give you the phone number. Now, I will tell you that I called this phone number earlier this week, and when I called the phone number, it was a 45-minute wait to get the voucher. So it would be better, if you can, to find one of those ID clinics and let them process your application for you, if you have that kind of time. If you don't have that kind of time and you can sit on the phone for 45 minutes, that number is 1-573-751-4475. 1-573-751-4475. And that's what I have for you guys. I thank you for tuning in to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show this morning. I also want to give a shout out to JADASA. They're having their walk this morning, Walk Run Against Abuse. This is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And they're walking from 8 a.m. to 12 noon today out at Bellefontaine County Park. That's 9565 Bellefontaine Road, 9565 Bellefontaine Road, St. Louis, Missouri, 63138. Shout out to JADASA, doing a great job. Guys, again, head on over to Facebook. Make sure you like, tag, share, and follow. Make sure you like, tag, share, and follow us on the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show. We thank you for tuning in. You're listening to Sister Felicia. Keep it on lock and quit playing.